Let me first start with you, Mr. Aditya Pratap. You have raised complaints about this, I believe. You have in the past raised serious concerns about this, even officially. Tell us.
Well, when approvals become a game of money, all precautions, etc., are thrown to the wind. I have appeared several years back in a case involving illegal hoardings in CRZ areas. And that time, whatever the outcome of the court decision was, like the disastrous consequences of hoardings have not been taken adequately into account. Now, when you look at the development control regulations of Mumbai 2034, DC regulation 46 pertains to hoardings. And DC regulation very clearly states that hoardings, especially those hoardings which stand on the ground, should be governed by the National Building Code of India. And as per National Building Code of India, maximum height of a hoarding it can be 40 feet by 40 feet, maximum 9 meters or 12 meters from the ground level. And here we have a hoarding which crosses 33 meters. And moreover, Part 6 of the National Building Code of India, which was also applicable, places heavy reliance on wind data, turbulence data. What is the effect of the wind current on the hoarding? Because it becomes like the sail of a ship. And it's a simple principle of physics that force of the wind at the top of the hoarding will act as a lever. But the point is, for the money-obsessed officials of BMC, there is nothing. These are the same municipal officials who grant builders 20, 30 times the normal FSI and allow them to flout fire safety norms, this, that. You think these corrupt BMC officials will care about hoardings? Not at all. And moreover, if you look at it, that there are also stringent provisions on hoardings this is a hoarding on a national highway, where even the necessary NOC from the Highways Authority, etc. And when we look at the sequence of facts also, BMC says they issued demolition notice. Let me put a question to BMC. Such a huge hoarding the size of a building structure, ward officials are very smart. They immediately know that something is amiss and they could have stopped the construction then and there. But fact of the matter is, only when the entire civil society started raising a concern, they started dragging their feet to show that, yes, they're doing something. And by then this tragedy happened. What more can we expect?
Absolutely. No, Aditya, I can totally understand where your anger is coming from. And I don't think any one of us or any of our viewers can even... everybody shares the same emotion as you are. You've raised some very, very pertinent points as well. Shailesh Gandhi, but if I can come to you at this point, Aditya Pratap, you have taken up these cases in the past. You don't really see anything unfold with those cases. For a person who's been active on this field, for a person who's, there are citizens who would be looking right now and be very shocked with what has unfolded. But then there are those like you who have been actively petitioning in these cases. You have been taking these cases up before the legal system, before authorities, and yet you see nothing really unfold. What does it tell you? What's the takeaway for you?
Well, there have been cases where, like I appeared in the case in which I had argued against, illegal hoardings being put up in CRZ areas, that no hoarding can be put up in a CRZ area without taking permission from the MCZMA, whether temporary or even banners or billboards whatsoever. Then there have been cases in the High Court where the High Court has come down heavily on the rampant proliferation of hoardings in the city. The BMC in 2018 even came out with a policy governing the type of hoardings and where it can be put up, where it cannot be put up. But in all these matters, the DC regulations have been very clear, because that the technical specifications of a hoarding should comply with the National Building Code of India. However, if you see the 2018 policy document of BMC, which pertains to guidelines for hoardings, it's a 50-page policy document, one Control F, the word wind is mentioned nowhere. That thing, the BMC's policy document on hoardings, it just says you should apply for this permission, that is the fees, this report, this recommendation, and done. Just purely on procedures. There is no way to assess to anticipate the impact of a hoarding. Let me tell you, when we argue cases of environmental law, there's a doctrine called precautionary principle. That is, if a person wants to do any project, the onus of proof is against him. He cannot say that my project will not affect the environment. No, your project is presumed and deemed to have an adverse impact unless you demonstrate to the contrary. But clearly, no such yardstick was applied to these hoardings. Then there is one more important legal doctrine which is applicable, doctrine of public trust, wherein the municipal corporation and the other statutory authorities, be it railways, all those who engage in the blame game and passing the buck, they are trustees of they are vested with the public trust. They are trustees of public assets. They are to ensure that the right to life of people is to be protected, and they're not to consider public interest like a balance sheet. But however, ultimately, how much can courts do? Courts keep passing after orders.
Right.
Let me tell you for a fact that today the public officials who are in Maharashtra, they don't even care for court orders. Even if the Bombay High Court passes a judgment, जब तक महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट उस जजमेंट पे सर्कुलर नहीं निकालेगी, तब तक ये लोग जजमेंट को तक नहीं मानते.
All right. Thank you very much for taking up the time, giving us some very important insights. Aditya Pratap, thank you so much. I do hope that you will keep your activism alive.